Welcome everyone. This is a dedicated video specifically for our group here on schoolofmyfxsoftware.com group. I want to talk to you about this exposure limiter. In the beginning, I called it, currency correlation, and technically that's the wrong term. So I'm going to, from now on, or do my best to reference this concept that I'm going to share with you here and show you some results overnight, which I think are highly impressive. I have to be a little careful. It's been one day, not even an entire day really, because I didn't turn on this automation that we're going to talk about until later in the evening last night. This has been a long time coming. This has been very hard to do. And what am I referencing? I said I'm going to call it the exposure limiter. So we're trading 28 currency pairs. There's actually 8 currencies in the entire world. And when you combine them together, there's 28 currency pair crosses. So one of the things that can really help you in your trading is limiting, okay? Limiting your lot size, limiting the number of pairs that you trade. And one of the very important limitations, which has been nearly impossible, I don't know why it was so hard to have someone program this. I didn't do it. I knew what I wanted. I told them what to do. I think it took about 7 iterations for them to get this right. So, talking about limiting and control and being conservative, obviously, you want to do really well, have a big account with a small bid. You don't make a lot. You don't make very much doing that, but it is cool to see. You get nice results. The next level is bidding, increasing your bid, decreasing your bid. The next level, I guess that's really the first level, altering your bid. The next level would be if there's 28 currency pairs to trade, and we're not talking about indices and metals. There's 28 currency pairs to trade. Then one of the ways, for example, if you have a smaller account, is to limit the number of pairs. What starts happening, what I found is if I had a smaller account, let's say, I don't know, a couple $1,000s or something, and I was like, well, I want a decent sized bid. I don't want to just bid the minimum. I want a decent sized bid. So I'm going to, instead of trading 28 pairs, I'm going to trade 10. That works, right? Nothing wrong with that at all. The first question comes to mind is like, which 10? Well, that's when we started looking at currency correlation and pairs and let me just kind of dive into this concept before I get too far. The idea here is if you're in an AUD JPY trade across 28 currency pairs, there are other pairs that have AUD and JPY in them. So you start overexposing yourself. If AUD is running hard one way or the other, and you're in AUD JPY, AUD NZD, AUD something, right? Or something AUD, GBP AUD, GBP AUD. So now you're just overexposed on AUD. That can be a problem. It could just, it just runs your account too hard. So one of the things I wanted to do was simply to create an exposure limiter that works with my system. So I'm only exposed to AUD in one basket of trades, one currency pair. I don't want to be in every AUD because that's when things can start to run. Now, this isn't magic. Just doing exposure limiting isn't magic. I'm going to tell you though, I'm going to show you some results here, and we're looking at an actual live account. This is a live account. I started it last night, $100,000. It's up, you can see, $111.69. But remember that number. We'll go look at the results. The idea behind this is it's all about having a level of conservatism. I don't mean politics. Of being conservative in your account in the best way that you can. And this is, I believe, one of the best ways you can. Now, let's go look at the history results here. Here's what it traded overnight. I didn't turn this on until late last night, so we're not getting a full 24 hours. The trade at the top, that GBP CHF, minus $2.79, that was a test trade. I sent it out to the entire system because I wanted to make sure this was working. So if you see a small little loss on British pound, Swiss franc, that was me doing a test. Had to do it live, right? So you can see here, if I actually go to the daily results, you can see here $111.98. And you're like, okay, looks good, is what it is. Notice my bid. My bid is double from the other account that I'm going to show you. Okay. Very comparative account. Another live account. And I'm going to show you the numbers, and I want you to, we're just going to kind of think this out loud, because this is really, again, one day, I'm not too excited, but I'm like, I expected what I'm looking at here. Okay. So remember this $111.98. You can see here it's 9:55 a.m. where I'm at Mountain Time. So probably if you think about this, this has been going since I turned it on about 12 hours. Okay. Now I'm going to take you over to another account where I'm trading all of the pairs. In fact, I probably should qualify. This account that we're looking at here has the exposure limiter, if I could say that properly, the exposure limiter applied to it, deployed on it. It's trading my main algorithm, all 28 currency pairs. And this is what it's in right now, one pair. Remember, with this account, we really need to build some momentum because, again, it's only been 12 hours. And the other account that I'm going to switch to in a second here it's trading all 28 pairs. Everything that's available is being traded in it, but it's also being traded at a 0.1 or $1 per pip lot size. So remember this, again, $111.98. Let's go look at the other account. So here it is. You can see $164.74. Why do they look different? This one's MetaTrader 4. The other one's MetaTrader 5. It is what it is. It's no different. It's getting all 28 currency pairs. But this account does not have the exposure limiter. And stick around. I'm going to be done with this a couple more minutes maybe, as long as I don't rant too much. But I want to be completely transparent with you. But I'm also going to tell you how to get access to this concept of the exposure limiter. Had this idea this morning, and you can let me know in the comments, if I'm crazy or you don't like it or you're upset about it, or maybe you don't want it to be that way. Nonetheless, so look at this. So the other account, exposure limiter, I doubled the bid, and I just did that because I'm like, well, I have less exposure on all the currency pairs. Whereas if you look at this account, it's about $450 drawdown right now, and that's the total trades, what, about a dozen or so. That's everything that's open in the system right now at a base lot size. Actually, sorry, just to be accurate, the base lot size is 0.12. It's been 0.10, but I put it up a little bit because the market's so stable right now. So $111 massive exposure limiter, 12 hours, or full unfettered 28 currency pairs, $164 with half the bid, roughly half the bid, 1.12 compared to 0.20. Maybe I should be technical and go to the other one and bid 0.22, right? So, or what would it be? It'd be double this, 0.24. I don't think I want to bid that high. 0.20 is pretty good. The point is, it's not that far off. It's about a $50 difference. But remember, the other account that I'm showing you is only 12 hours old. This has been, running every 24 hours, 5 days a week. So pretty impressive right out of the box. My expectation is, and again, I have to say this, even though we're right in the group here, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm a freaking Forex software gambler. All right. Don't take my financial advice. Someone messaged me this morning and said, here's my account. You think I should bid this much? And I'm like, why do you guys ask me that? Like, the only thing I can really say to you when you come to me and say, here's my account size, here's what I want to trade, here's my bid, what do you think? Right? I know what you're asking. You're asking for me to give you financial advice, really. The best thing I can do is say, what you're doing is reasonable. Right? What you're doing is reasonable. I never have wanted to, and I've done this in the past and it kind of burnt me, to sit here and say, if you kind of look at what I'm doing, you'll notice, and this is not advice, don't do this, don't take my advice. You'll notice that I bid typically, this is not 100% accurate, but conceptually, a 0.01 lot size per $1,000 in the account. That's not always the case, but that's a somewhat random roll the dice, one eye closed, upside down in an airplane while you're drinking a beer kind of representation, right? 0.01, 10 cents bid per $1,000 in your account. You probably will get away with that, and you won't be over trading, over leveraging, assuming the market's as stable as it is now and has been. So I just wanted you to see that. So how do you get access to this? Because I know I mentioned this the other day and someone said, well, it's not really fair that you're launching this awesome automation, but we don't have access to it. Well, I do have to test it. Now, I don't really have to test it that much. It's been going 12 hours. I'm like, it works, right? I can't imagine it not being a pretty good way, an additional portfolio way to trade. Meaning I'm trading, multiple different ways. I mean, heck, just the main automation itself, the 10 pip day trader, can be manipulated in all kinds of ways. You can just trade one pair. You can trade 10 pairs. You can trade all pairs. You can bid more. You can bid less, whatever the case may be. So listen to me on this one. Here's what I'm thinking in terms of making this available. I'm going to make the exposure limiter, as of right now, I'm in charge. I get to make all the decisions, right? As of right now, I'm going to make the exposure limiter software. And it's software because I have to take my main automation, I have to run it through the exposure limiter, and that's just a whole separate piece of software. Okay. I don't know what to name it yet. Maybe you guys can help me with that. I want a cool name. I mean, I think 10 pip day trader is cool. Double hedge is cool. Index and metals software, very descriptive, kind of cool, right? I don't know what I want to name this. I mean, we could call it the exposure limiter, right? It is pulling trades from my main algorithm, but it's running it through the software, which is exposure limiter. So let me know what you think about that one. But I'm going to make it available. I don't know if I said this. I'm ranting over here. I'm going to make the exposure limiter available at level 2 of the group. There's 3 levels. I think the naming is standard, premier, and VIP. Okay, so at the premier level, the middle level of being in the group, I'm going to make this software available. So if you look at the differences between standard, premium, and VIP, it's of course different available software connections, but it's also amount of connections. I think right now I have it set at standard. As a basic member, you get 1 auto connection. If you upgrade from there, at the premium, the second level, you get 2 auto connections. And then at the VIP level, I believe I have it set right now to give you 4 auto connections. And that's just the concept of portfolio trading. Okay. The reason it costs more is it costs me more to run more software and more automations through the auto connect API system, where I'm basically auto connecting to your broker account. So as of right now, and I reserve the right to change my mind every 15 minutes. As of right now, I'm going to make this exposure limiter connection and software available at the middle level, I believe is called premium. So I will also repurpose. We were trading a version of the 10 pip day trader called OPP, one profitable pair. Because that was such a good system. But it just wasn't the amount of cost really to just send out one trade. That's really probably one of the reasons I got rid of it. But I originally had that available at level 1 or the standard level. So I'm going to put this, if you go look at, I made an announcement at the Telegram channels, and there'll be links to all of this stuff, and I'll update, obviously, the classroom. But I will give you the ability to track what we're doing. I'm trying to think if I want to do it with this account. The one that, when I say this account, it's basically this one that we were looking at. So I'm going to make it available so you can track it on Telegram. Obviously, the Telegram channel is for the exposure limiter. It's only going to be available if you're at the premium level, at the middle level of the group of the 3 levels. But you'll be able to watch it, be able to see that. One of the reasons I do that, here goes a little technical stuff for you. One of the reasons I do that is provide the trades on Telegram is that you can set up an audible, and I teach you how to do that inside the classroom, an audible notification when a trade goes off. And here's why I did that. If you are not connected to your account through the desktop MetaTrader, you don't get MetaTrader notifications, which is just ding, ding, ding on your phone type of thing. Although I've never traded without notifications, you may get notifications connected to my auto software, but you'd only get like a visual pop-up, if you're tracking and obviously looking at your trades on MetaTrader mobile. So one of the nice things about having MetaTrader desktop, you don't need it. It's literally just another way to look into your account. But if you connect on your PC to your account via the MetaTrader desktop, you can set up notifications. It gives you your MetaQuotes ID, so on and so forth. And I've done some training on this. If I'm getting off on a technical rant here, just say, I don't know what you're talking about. I can point you in the right direction. But the fact is that if you're logged into your trading account on MetaTrader desktop, you have the ability to activate trade notifications, which basically is a ding type of thing. I actually like Telegram notifications better because I have this like horn audio. In fact, I give you guys the audio in the classroom as it's related to Telegram. You can associate that audio file with any sort of Telegram notification. And man, I'm surprised. Like I've had mine. It's loud. I've had mine going so long that I can sleep through it all night now. It just goes off ding, 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 while my phone's next to my head, probably feeding microwave energy into. That's why I'm so smart. I sleep next to my phone and I got a bunch of microwave energy going into my head. You should try the same thing. I mean, maybe it gives you brain cancer after a few years, but whatever. We're making money, man. We're making money. We're trading automatically, bro. I'm putting you on game. So that's what I wanted to show you. I knew this was going to be good. I'm really excited about what I'm seeing here because it is absolutely, it's worked seamlessly. Yes, if you look at the closed trades here, there are currency pair crosses, but they were never open at the same time. This is phenomenal. This is probably the best thing I've ever come up with in my life. This is just an iteration, a software iteration that allows a level of control that I just haven't seen anywhere. I've seen this baked into some automations and some EAs, some robots, but those robots suck. So I was like, well, I don't want to trade them. I want to trade that automation, that exposure limiter on my incredible automation, the 10-pip day trader. So yeah, get excited about that. If you want to get access to the exposure limiter account, which is 10-pip day trader with exposure limiter, we'll figure out a name. Maybe I'll just call it the exposure limiter. I don't know. It's kind of boring. People aren't going to know what that means. But let me know what you think about the naming function. If you want to get access or plug into this, I don't actually have it live right now. I'd like to plug you into this. If you signed up for this in the next 5 minutes, it might take me half the day to kind of, get some of the connections going on my back end. But it's in place. I got the software. It's working. It's incredible. So it gives you, I'm not saying you're going to, become some sort of millionaire just because you're doing exposure limiting, but it is a level of safety. And my theory, although I haven't fully proven it, my theory is that because you're limiting your exposure on currencies, you potentially, don't listen to me. I'm a gambling hack. I'm not a financial advisor, but you potentially could bid more just because your exposure is limited. Now, that's a very general statement. I don't know what your account size is. I don't know what your leverage is. I don't know your ability. Some people trade my system that work like 15 hours a day and they can't sit there and look at their mobile device or certainly can't log into a desktop. So, don't be signing up for the exposure limiter just because you think you can increase your bid and make more, even though you can't manage your account. It doesn't really require a lot of management. But, if you want to jack your bid up, you probably need to pay attention to your account. Hint, hint. Probably should do that. So I'm pretty excited about this. Let me know your thoughts on that. I am working on all of this in the background. So it's described and it has a classroom module and all the technical is set up. And no, it's not something from the posting of this video I'm going to have set up in 5 minutes, but it's working. I'm there. I'll have this, certainly by the beginning of next week. What's today? Wednesday. Certainly by the beginning of next week. Worst case scenario, I would think probably by the end of the week, but I'd hate to turn something on and just have someone jump into it at the end of the market, end of the week type of thing. Nonetheless, that's it. Appreciate you watching. Give me some feedback. What's up? What's your thoughts? Am I saying anything that's confusing? Let me know in the comments, and I will talk to you later. Somehow, somewhere. I'll see you later.